So NBA, since we have NBA Jam here, even though my controller gave out, so we're not playing. Um, the Dwayne Wade and LeBron James had their final meetup, potentially, unless by some miracle the Lakers and the Heat show up in the NBA Finals this season. But it was kind of one of those. I'm getting old moments for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I remember Dwayne Wade coming onto the scene, and he's actually the reason that I started like hardcore following the Heat again, or for the first time really. I remember that 2004 playoff series against the Hornets, and just like falling in love with this guy, and then the Shaq trade from there, and everything great about the Heat. I know that Pat Riley is the guy that that brought that quote unquote culture to us, but he couldn't get past Jordan, and then couldn't get past the Knicks, and he couldn't get past Alonzo Mourning and the team kind of breaking up after that. But the one thing that Pat Riley hates doing, drafting guys, and lo and behold, the one really good guy he drafts, and it's Dwayne Wade, and he basically is the catalyst for everything great that has happened to the franchise since. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to chime in on that real quickly. You talk about emotional moments. Him retiring is going to be emotional for everybody, because you got to think this isn't just a guy who is just a face of your franchise. This guy was, I feel, and it's very safe to say, the spirit of your franchise and the constant drive of success. Because how do you think Bosch and James come here? How do you think even Ray Allen comes here? How do you think you get Mario Chalmers, who always thought he was the best guy on the floor, despite playing with the best guys on the floor, to cool down and play along? Wade is the heart and soul, and it was very surreal, because it was definitely a man I'm getting old moment. Because I can remember when they beat the Mavericks the first time for that belt, or for that championship, or that trophy, and then when the big three come together, and that hardship of, okay, we lost to the Mavericks this time, what are we gonna do? And then them going together, coalescing, gelling out, and having a lot of fun. Definitely very surreal. And Wade tried. He didn't have like the best stat line, but that's expected. 6 of 19, so he put up a lot of ugly shots. But in a game like this, he's going against his buddy, but also everybody knows LeBron is one of the best. Wade will always look at LeBron as his equal and nothing more.
Yeah, there was like a point in the third quarter, he had no points to that point in the game, and then he put up 15, whatever. So. And then LeBron obviously puts up 28 or whatever, what have you. But it's one of those moments where you see LeBron James, and like you said, Dwayne Wade looks at LeBron as his equal, and I think LeBron does too. LeBron, even though actually Dwayne Wade is probably the only guy who could withstand him, and Chris Bosh were the only guys who could withstand LeBron's, I guess in a planetary sense, his gravitational pull, with regards to the team and his entourage and his media guys, his agents, all that stuff.
You have to be a fairly selfless, unselfish team player in order to deal with that, because no matter whether LeBron wants it or not, he is arguably the greatest player of all time. I'm not even going to open up that can of worms, but
we'll leave that to Stephen A. Smith or whoever. Skip Bayless.
So to deal with that, and to, instead of being a big fish in a small pond, you became a smaller fish in a big pond, in a sense, because you had to share the limelight with two other guys. So that says a lot. And then I think on top of that, I think Wade's impact surpasses any physical, tangible stats. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page right now. All 3 of Miami's championships were with him. He was the only constant. enough said.
Other than Udonis Haslem, I got to throw that in.
All right, thank you. I'm not a Heat fan.
Uni's always there.
But just to give you an idea, there are 4 sections of Heat history on the Wikipedia page. From 87 to 2003, 95 to 2003 for some reason, a little bit of overlap. But then Dwyane Wade era, and then the departure and return of Wade. So half of the sections on the Heat's history are about Dwyane Wade. They renamed the freaking county after him for, who knows, it was like a week or something.
Yes, yeah, for the free agency.
I mean, it's convenient that his name rhymes with Wade, rhymes with Dade, but still, that just goes to show you he is Mr. Heat. He always will be, no matter whoever comes through. LeBron may be the better player, but Wade is definitely the heart and soul of the team.
All right, guys. Yeah, he's it's gonna be sad when he goes. Other than Dan Marino, he's the other, I guess, the biggest icon in South Florida sports history, and so that last game against LeBron kind of just brought all that stuff together, that the Big Three era, and it's kind of the first, his last trip to Los Angeles. It's kind of the first big. And actually, this road trip has been the first of the last of Dwyane Wade, where it's his last trip to Phoenix, his last trip to LA, and I guess his last trip to Utah coming up. So he's it's starting to happen now. You know, we're already into December, and it's going to start happening. We're going to get these lasts of Dwyane Wade coming up.
You have like another 4 months with him.
Yeah. So